All right, here we are backstage at SPAC, another live broadcast at what's become a summer tradition here in Saratoga. I'm Matty Jeff, sitting here at the star of the show tonight. Luke Bryan, welcome back.
What's up?
Good to have you back here in the Capital Region.
It's like nice couch in here. You know, it's very, very cozy.
We like to chill out a little bit before the show because we got to rock out with you. So I want to talk about what makes you country because I think you've taken what makes you country up a notch. Because in my mind, several of the things that make you country, some of the things that come to mind about Luke Bryan, great dad, helps others, authentic, loves the outdoors. But I think building a 200-foot slip and slide for your son's birthday, and now for people listening on the radio, is that a video of an ATV pulling you on a raft on that slide?
That is definitely an ATV pulling my wife and I. So.
And the best thing about this is Lionel Richie is the voice of reason on here.
Oh, I know. Well, Lionel always. Anytime I post funny stuff, Lionel just, you know, my way of living is it's like Mars to Lionel. So anytime I post, you know, where I'm out in the woods or something, you know, Lionel.
Do you think Lionel would ever come over the house and go hunting with you?
Well, I'm going to try to get him to hunt, but every time I talk to him about, you know, going fishing or hunting or something, he really starts getting nervous because he doesn't like to sweat. He doesn't like snakes, spiders, you know, bears, anything. So Lionel's he gets pretty.
Is that the amazing thing about music, though? Like here are you and Lionel, two completely different backgrounds, but music brings you guys together, and here you are judging together now in American Idol. It's amazing.
Well, you had to grow up, you know, to be a, you know, 10-year-old kid in the 80s, and or, you know. Nobody was, you know, it was Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, Madonna. I mean, you know, he's one of the top 5 most influential artists of the 70s and the 80s. So,
and he's not just as an artist, but as a songwriter too.
Oh, well, he's an amazing songwriter. He's an amazing guy. He's really, really inspiring to be around. And when I think about, you know, how I grew up as a fan of his everything he's about. And now, you know, I can call him a friend. It's pretty surreal to be in that situation.
Speaking of being inspired by a guy like Lionel and working with him, not just on Idol, but, you know, recording music together. But I want to ask you, being on American Idol, being in that situation and seeing all these artists, you know, just clawing to make their way in the business, has it inspired you or maybe changed your approach in any way?
Well, yeah, it makes me appreciate, you know, just how hard it is to break through in the business. And, it gets harder and harder every year, too. I mean, so watching these kids that come in, and they're very raw, you know. I got to Nashville, and I had talent, but I really, really had to, you know, work hard and really get better. You know, some of these kids roll in, you know, a few weeks, you know, they're singing at their house for their parents, and then they're singing for us on American Idol, and it's just God-given talent, and that's always inspiring to me. I mean, when you meet somebody that has just that God-given ability, it's pretty inspiring, and you know that they can take that talent and go anywhere in the world with it, and you just pray that they use it in the right way.
Now, you mentioned something interesting. You said, you know, your approach was different. They come in with all this talent. You had to work to get there. But I also think going through what you went through, do you think that is really a key to your success? Because now what you've gotten here, you know the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it. Do you think it makes it easier for you to keep your career going and growing along the years?
Well, I mean, no matter how you... And I tell the kids on American Idol, you can be the most talented singer on planet Earth, but you are going to have to work for certain levels of this business. You know, if you want to have a long career, you've got to work. I mean, you hear my voice now. I mean,
fighting through it a little
I've been fighting through a cold. I've done two 2-hour shows this week. And, yeah, I mean, it's work. I mean, I'm up there tonight. When I get off stage, I will be drained in all levels of the word. And so these kids, that's what we try to tell them. American Idol is hopefully a building block, a launch pad, and, then they're going to have to get out and earn it and work for it. I mean, it's funny. These kids, they just get excited about, their Instagram followers, going up.
Do you give them tips for pulling stunts on Instagram, like slipping
Well,
slides?
yeah, I would never, any of my shenanigans, I would never promote. But the main thing is, I mean, it's fun, watching all of that take place. And I mean, What Makes You Country, my album came out in November. And, I mean, I can't even relax because I got to start thinking about the next album,
But next summer you might have a little more time because you said you're going to pull back on touring a little bit.
Well,
right?
I'm going to pull back touring a little bit. I mean, that's kind of a loaded question, so...
But the effort there, though, is to spend more time with family and do the games, the summer, the sporting events and all that stuff, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, my nephew he's playing football this fall. He's 11th grade, and I mean, I won't see one of his I really will not see one of his football games this year. So, my falls have always been super busy. So, next fall I'm going to take a couple weekends off to try to catch some of his football games. And
I'm Matty here with Luke Bryan. I have one request for you. If you pull back in the touring, please come back to Saratoga.
We will. We love it up here.
We love it.
We went out and had a beer at a restaurant in town, and yeah, we get out. I went and rode my bike. I've never really. I try to get out and cycle as much as I can. So I rode like 30 miles up into the hills, and it was amazing. It was beautiful, beautiful. So we will be back. The state of New York, period, has just, I mean, it blows my mind to be a kid from South Georgia and to be able to come up here and, have, 20,000 people, come to my shows. The state of New York has been, a cornerstone for my touring, and we don't take it for granted. Well, we ain't gonna forget about you.
You keep coming up, we'll keep coming out. Luke Bryan, another great show ahead tonight at SPAC. Thanks for spending some time with us.